Hello, everybody. I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish and French and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. I've written several books now. They're all available at studio-nemo.com. And I'm a proud member of the Duolingo Educators Network and the Minecraft Education Ambassadors. And I love to collaborate with people and bounce ideas off of people and have you tell me how wacky I am. So please connect with me there or comment underneath here. Today, I'm talking about my experiments with the Harvard Project Zero thinking routines. And we're still in the core thinking routines. Today's is Connect, Extend, Challenge. The thinking routines are located here. They're available for educators for free. So I didn't want to sell this book because I'm building off of their stuff. I want to give it back out to the world. The subtitle for this is A Routine for Helping the Student Connect Content Outside Their Bubble. This one's really fun. Now, for many, many, many of the thinking routines, not all of them, but let's say the vast majority of them, when you go to the website and you click on it, you will see that sometimes they have it translated for you into Spanish and into Portuguese. No French, no Japanese, unfortunately for me, but they do have Spanish. And it looks like this. Now, this is absolutely wonderful for your students who are native speakers or heritage speakers or just arrived in the country, but I only teach first-year Spanish. So this is just too hard for my students. So as I experiment with these thinking routines, you will see that I bring it down to a level that my students will understand. Feel free to use this. Obviously, maybe you can make better use of it than I can, but it's good stuff. It's good to look at. This thinking routine is great. It can be used pretty much as is. Okay, consider what you've just read, seen, heard, and then ask yourself, how are the ideas and information connected to what you already know? What new ideas did you get that broadened your thinking or extended it in different directions? What challenges or puzzles emerged for you? Of course, you're going to want to translate this into whatever your target language is. Okay, so for an example of something I do with this is we talk about La Chandeleur. This is a holiday, early February, and I begin talking about it with my students. It's on February 2nd. It's 40 days after Christmas. It's also called La Lumière. There's farmers that need to do something. I talk about this area of the country and how they like to drink hot apple cider out of a bowl instead of out of a cup. And then I start telling them some of the superstitious little rhyme things that they've got. Now, Soleil de la Chandeleur, annonce hiver et malheur. Okay, so if it's sunny, it's Candlemas. Winter will continue bringing bad luck. Chandeleur couverte, carangeur de perte. Si la chandelle est belle et claire, nous avons l'hiver derrière. We can talk about all these. They can recognize the words. They can figure this out. And as we're working through the proverbs, I finally bring up, what does this sound like? It's February 2nd. What's it like? And of course, they'll say, oh my gosh, it's Groundhog's Day. It's just very, very different. But we make that connection that there's something going on in a different part of the world and it's a different celebration. But coincidentally, it's on the same day and it's really kind of celebrating the same thing. It's celebrating the end of winter. So that connection is really important. When you're teaching grammar, and again, grammar includes pop-up grammar, it includes the grammar translation method, it includes audiolingual method while looking at transformation drills, it includes straight out of your textbook. Don't forget the word banks. You need word banks. Here, I've got to teach the students the word winter. Got to teach them the word wheat. They've never heard wheat. They've heard winter before, but I have to remind them of it. I have to remind them of spring. I need to teach them wheat, and I need to teach them flour. Okay, because, of course, the whole point of Candlemas, but Chandeleur, is to make des crêpes. And here's the recipe that the students use. And wasn't that nice of me to put the other pictures floating on top? I'm not going to fix that. Nobody's watching this video but me. When teaching literature, culture, history, or art, don't teach in a bubble. That's my main advice to anyone, the other one person who's going to be watching this video. Find out when your history colleagues are teaching the French Revolution and partner with them, collaborate with them. Find out when your psychology colleagues are still pushing that stupid critical period junk. Oh, if you don't learn a language by the time you're 13, you're never going to learn a language. That has been disproved 100 million times. I love to show this movie to my French students. This is L'Enfant Sauvage. It's about Victor, who was one of the people that Noam Chomsky looked at and said, oh, yeah, this proves that you can't learn a language if you've reached a certain age. No, that's bunk. There's plenty of schools for the deaf in Nicaragua that are doing just fine, you know. Find out when your choir is singing in Latin and partner with them, okay? Because all your students who are singing in Latin, you can draw back to those words that they're learning. Hey, it looks similar in Spanish. It looks similar in French. It looks similar in Italian. It looks similar in Portuguese. It looks similar in Romanian. Whatever. Find out what they're singing in. One year, my choir was singing in Japanese, and they called me in to teach them. That was great. Find out when your language arts classes are reading Don Quixote de la Mancha. And, partner with those colleagues of yours. When is the drama department doing Beauty and the Beast? Oh, we did it this year, and students were coming to me saying, is it Philly? No, it's Fee. And so it was great to work with them on it. It was just wonderful. Which of your students take dance lessons? Bring that into the classroom. I guarantee you whatever language you're teaching has some dances associated with it in the culture. Very cultural. Which students can help you teach those dances? Which of your students like to cook? Oh my gosh. I lived in Japan. I went to college in Japan. Loved going to hole-in-the-wall ramen shops. My student made the best ramen I have ever tasted in my entire life. But how wonderful that was to bring that into the classroom and to bring that to the school. What sports do they like? Oh, I always teach my students how to fence in French class. And one of my students got so into it, he started taking professional level fencing lessons, and he's really good. And he's teaching. See, these are my colleagues. I didn't cover up their faces. I'm going to cover up my students' face, but not my colleagues. He's teaching them how to fence at our school festival. It was just so wonderful. Which students speak another language at home? You can draw on their wealth of knowledge in your class. Even if it's not the language you're teaching, the fact that they know another language is a fountain of gold for you. It's going to enrich your class so much. Which students are in art class? Bring that into your class. Those are your connections. And so this one is really fun to do. In our next episode, we're going to do I used to think, now I think. Hope to see you there.